Ladies and gents, hello, welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in, and today it's a deal analysis video. We're going to be looking at how we calculate gross yield and return on investment. Of course, I just want to start off by saying that, as you can see from the exposed brickwork, my lovely coat, we're going for a bit of a renovation in here, so the sound audio quality might not be tip-top, but I'll do my very best for you. So if you've seen me on Instagram or YouTube lately, you'll have seen me having a good moan about the amounts that people are paying for property right now. And I hope you know that I, of course, moan with the best intentions at heart, and of course don't want to offend anyone. But with that being said, I feel like some people need educating on how to work out your numbers. So if you want to learn how to do so, please stay tuned, because I'll be going through this whiteboard here. And if you know anything about me, you'll know I love a good whiteboard. And in fact, that a large part of my success on YouTube has come from whiteboard videos. So stay tuned, I'll walk you through. Let's go. So in this example, I'm going to be using a property that's listed for £70,000, and that's because this is an actual deal that I lost out on the other week. Now, in my opinion, the people paid far too much, as they paid £69,000 for it. However, let's review it as a deal, and I'll show you how I calculate gross yield, return on capital left in, etc. So starting with the purchase price of £70,000, I've just told you the offer that was accepted was £69,000. We had a 25% deposit, which is obviously calculated there as just over 17,000. Stamp duty, which is worked out as 3% because it's a buy-to-let property. So for solicitors, I put down £1,500, as during the process of buying a property in a limited company, there are sometimes fees that come up along the way. If you're brand new to buy-to-let investing, then it's definitely worth speaking to someone for more advice on that. Survey, I've put £550. Depending where you are in the UK, that varies between £500 and £1,000. And then in this example, I put £450 for works and updates, because in this example, the previous owners have been using it as a home. And if it's been used as a home, it might need some updates to bring it up to date with regulations before you let the property out, and to make it safe before you let the property out. So I put aside a £450 budget for a few updates here and there, bringing our total to £21,820. So that's the total of the deposit and all the expenses involved for buying the property. Now, when it comes to the mortgage, I do a quick calculation on that because we're going to need it for the cash flow calculator. So if you get a mortgage, a 75% loan to value mortgage, you can see the total amount of debt that you're taking on. The interest rate at the moment is about 3.1, 3.2% if you put down 25% deposit and you're buying in a limited company. So that's about average right now from what I'm told, which works out to about 0.26% per month, which brings our monthly cost to £136 a month for an interest-only mortgage. So heading over to the cash flow part of this and working out how much money we're going to make per month. I've given this a rent of £450, and that's because I did some research and found that the ceiling price for kind of rent around that area, around those streets, is about £450. And this is perhaps where this property slightly falls down in comparison to other deals in the area. But given that, the mortgage, as we can see down here, is £136 per month, so we deduct that. We then deduct the agent fee, the managing agent fee, if you're going to use one. Normally cater for about 9 to 11% plus VAT per month. So then we've got maintenance and voids. Now, my first buy-to-let deal, which I of course did a video on, I didn't actually include that, which I soon came to find out that maintenance and voids are actually a real thing. So you do have to factor in some costs for them. So I put £50 per month because inevitably you will probably have a void, or you will have some maintenance come up. As sadly, as much as you don't want it, it will happen. So insurance I've left till last. That on my current one's about £25, obviously area and property dependent, but I put £25, bringing the monthly cash flow to about £185, which in all honesty isn't really the greatest of deals. I'd be looking for about £230, £240 maybe. Obviously I factored in the maintenance already, so if I hadn't factored that in, I'd be looking kind of £280, £290. But anyway, moving on to the actual ROI and yield part of this. So purchase costs we know from the beginning, £21,820. Annual rent we now know, which is £450 times 12. We also know the annual expenses, which is all of these times 12. We then obviously know the annual profit is this times 12. Now from that information, we can now calculate that in order to break even on this property and for the monthly profit to outweigh the amount that we've had to invest into this deal, it's going to take 90 months, or in other words, 7.5 years, which is a long time, to be quite frank. In property deals like this, most people are looking for 2, 3, 4 years maximum if they can. And of course, if you do a BRR deal, no years. So that's the ideal scenario. Now, next up is gross yields. And a lot of people actually say to me, Justin, why'd you bother even with gross yield? It's a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. However, it's what the agents use. You know, when they put a listing up on Rightmove and they say, this property gets 10 or 11%, you know, what does that actually mean? You know, because gross yield, they're not actually taking into account any of the costs. So what they're actually doing is taking the annual rent, £5,400, dividing it by 69,000, the purchase price, to give you your yield of 7.82%, which again is not very good. You'd ideally want to see 10, 11% plus. You know, if you're investing in the north, you're investing for cash flow, you're investing for yield really. So ideally 10, 11% plus is what I look for. You might think differently, it's what I look for. And last of all, last but not least, return on capital left in. So what is your return on that money that you invested into this deal? And in order to calculate that, you're going to take your profit per annum and you're going to divide that by the amount of money you put in. Okay, so 2220 divided by 21820 times 100 gives you 10.17%. Now, if you're investing in property for a 10% return on your money, then you might even consider looking elsewhere, because there's plenty of investments in this world which provide a much more hands-off return. Because of course, things do go wrong in property. So you've got to factor in that there could be even more additional costs that come up along the way. It's never a fixed percentage return. So for some people that could be a great return. For me, that's not. I'm looking for higher. I'm looking at deals that are in this market 16, 17% plus. I think my first one was just over 19% return on the money that I invested into that deal. And as I say, I would like to do the same again, but at least hit that 16, 17%. So that if anything unexpected does come along the way, I'm still earning in that 12 to 14% return on my investment area. So I hope you've enjoyed my deal analysis video. Of course, I don't come back and write all my deals on a whiteboard before making an offer. I put them on a spreadsheet. So if you want to see my spreadsheet, head to my website, which is justinwilkins.co.uk. But I hope this video was really useful for you. I hope you can calculate your yields and your ROI before making an offer and not go in blind. If you've enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. Please give it a like. Please comment below. And I'll see you in another video.